It was an animal attack, spin-off episode selected.
He was distraught.
He was distraught. Oh, now I'm just thinking of the stupid reboot. Now I keep seeing tweets about that and I get so mad.
Every night before I go to sleep, I pray to the new gods of the seven and the old gods of the forest that it flops.
That it flops right out the gate. That even HB freaking O has to, that's where it is, right? Has to go, this is not a feasible investment, guys. I don't care that we've built a school so that these child laborers can pretend to study.
Because at the very least, it's going to be an expensive show to make. And HBO is already home to House of the Dragon, among other things.
That's
so I'm
very
like,
true. That's very true.
Surely it has to be perfect in order to be worth keeping. So if it doesn't get an A+.
There are enough millennials and zillennials who are willing to ignore the obvious ramifications of this, the amount of wealth it's going to put in that transphobe, mold-ridden harpy's pockets, and will readily accept whatever slop HBO serves them up because I'm a Hufflepuff, right? Like, that's what it's about.
I'm hoping that from that group, or at least the people who are unashamed to still be Potterheads, from that group, we will get the same energy that we get from every other fandom of nerds, where if it's not up to scratch, they'll take to the interwebs and whine and complain about how, no, this sucked and this was terrible, the way that we get from Snyder fans and Gun Bros and, you know, A Song of Ice and Fire nerds and Star Wars fans. That's the only thing that I can think will be a major blow to the production, at least as far as HBO cares about. People who are going to be like, no, that wasn't...
God, you have to hope.
Because already there's people, racist and otherwise, who are like, why is Snape black?
Right. What's that about? It's like both sides unite to decide this is the worst idea you could ever have come up with for different reasons. And let me tell you something, listener, if you're hearing this and feeling particularly slighted, I was that zillennial who read the Harry Potter books at like 10 years old. So excited to go to the library at my school and find the next copy. Only got 6 because the 7th one wasn't in the school library. And then I went to my town library, walking 10 minutes in the summer heat of Durban to go find it, and found it wasn't there. By chance found out that one of our student teachers, who was my friend's older cousin, had had the book on loan for months at this point, and she said, I'll just lend it to you and you can read it and then you can give it back and we can have a chat about it, which I did, and we did, and it kind of bonded us. I was there when the ancient texts were written, okay? And I'm standing here, I'm not standing, I'm sitting on my couch in my living room. I'm sitting here and telling you, I will not be accepting that slop fest and lining that transphobic, mold-ridden harpy's pockets with any of my hard-earned money. Thank you very much. My taxes are going to the infrastructure of my city and to the people who need it. And I hope you do the same.
And I mean, honestly, Potterheads, those of you, I mean, I doubt any of them listen to our podcast, but...
I think a lot of them do, Fatsai.
Oh,
unfortunately,
no.
we are in the demographic.
Speaking through the ether to whoever might hear, y'all be weak in the knees. Stand up.
Stand up. Is it worth it?
Even if she wasn't the person she is, why do you need a reboot for a franchise that ended in 2011? It's 2025. Stand up.
You can watch the movies right now if you want to. Like, if it's that bad for you, if you're jonesing so hard. I don't know, man.
Go read a fanfic. There's lots of them. My Immortal.
Oh, no comment. And we're not going to get into you marauder weirdos. That's not something I want to touch with a 10-foot pole. Anyway, back to Matthew Donovan.
Oh, it's her fault?
Yeah. Elena planted the seed in his mind that he needed to become
as a pause. I don't know if you've been seeing the clip going around of Ice Cube from that terrible movie that I recently informed you of.
Seeing it go around, you put it in the comments of my tweets.
Oh, I did. Yes,
I've seen the clip. It was you.
Good. Now I don't have to reference the controversial way in which it was used recently in a viral tweet.
Well, now you have to, because I don't know what that is.
No, I'm saying controversial in the sense that I'm like, I wouldn't call it controversial. I'll say if you're a bad person and you suck and people are glad that you're gone, that doesn't sound controversial to me.
I see.
But Without naming names.
Without naming names.
Someone made a tweet saying, oh, when this person from the other side sees that the person who murdered them was a white person, a white cisgender male, and then they put the clip of Ice Cube going, it's you!
It was you!
It's you! How could you, man? It's you! So that's my reaction to finding out Elena plotted this scene. It's you!
What is the context in the movie about that? Because you've seen the movie War of the Worlds. I haven't
seen it. I just saw Drew Gooden's review
Oh,
of it. But
right. Yes,
that's
yes.
the part where he finds out that one of the background antagonists of his life as a, what was it? DHS?
DHS, Department of Homeland Security.
As a DHS agent, this anonymous from Timu hacktivist was actually his son
his
and
son,
his son's
right.
online bestie.
Right. Because the response from the person on the other end too is so tepid. They were like,
Yes.
yeah, but like... What does
that's why I'm saying, yeah, well, kind of, because it's not just him, it's several people. That's a boy awkwardly talking to his father about his hacktivist persona.
So bad. Oh my god. Listen, if you as the listener have actually seen that movie and were wildly disappointed and are perhaps under the impression that it's because of the format of the movie, let me point you to two movies. One is called Missing, the other is called Searching. Well, Searching's the first one with John Cho, and Missing's the second one with Storm Reid, our icon, who can pull a face so sad you'll want to burn the world down. They do the same format. I've heard it's called screenlife. Strangely, it's by the same producer who produced War of the Worlds, but for whatever reason, these movies are good. They knock it out of the park. You want a little action, not even action, like thriller mystery type movie for your weekend moment. Go check those out. This shit, oof, rough. We digress. Have you seen the entirety of 13 Reasons Why?
I have. And before you make whatever comment you're about to make, my mind is forever changed because of it. Just in general, that show, the landscape of my psyche, forever scarred by watching 4 seasons of that show.
Oh, certainly. A mistake, a sunk cost fallacy to have completed that show in its entirety. A show that shouldn't have existed beyond 1 season. Nay, shouldn't have existed at all, but here we are. Spoilers for season 4 if you've not seen it, but there's a character who's very contentiously straight throughout the first 3 seasons, and everyone's a little bit like, well, not everyone in the show, well, a couple people in the show, but everyone outside the show is like, that's Miles Hezier, who I'm familiar with as an actor, and I'm just a little uncertain. And lo and behold, in the first episode of the final season, on a drunken walk across some rooftop somewhere in the town that they live in, the 13 Reasons Whyville, Zach and Alex, is he the one? The one who accidentally shot himself in the head?
Yes.
I don't know if that's too graphic.
That's Alex Standall.
Doing a little drunken walk. Alex, who is disabled, loses control and stumbles. Zach catches him, Zach being Ross Butler, who we know and love. There is a moment in which they are face to face, and it's like, oh, and you're like, no, this is crazy. And then Alex leans in for a kiss, and you're like, what? And then Zach's like, no, here's the important thing, is that Zach holds in the kiss for a good 2 seconds, is what I'll say, from what I remember, and then pulls back and is like, oh, sorry, man, I'm straight, I don't...
Which, I don't know if we've discussed it in this space before, but previously, Alex's attempted suicide had left him with some cognitive
impairments,
issues,
yes.
and also some physical impairments, one of which was, despite previously having, successful sexual relationships with girls his age, he now couldn't get it up. Not even on his own. And eventually, the way that he is finally able to go full mast again unintentionally is when he is having a fight with Zach, who's trying to help him, and he's lashing out because he's angry and annoyed at his current disabled status. And as they're tussling and Zach is trying to calm him down, Alex suddenly pops a Woody, as the kids used to say. And it's very awkward because Alex is like, wait, what? No, I've never been aroused by a man in my life. But also, oh, look, it works. And Zach is like, oh, okay, no, it's fine.
Just happy for you, dude. No worries. This is not awkward.
And we as the audience, I'll just say for myself, 4 seasons of that show, this is the reason I went on to season 4, because I thought in my heart, okay, I have to at least stay and see Miles and Ross have their on-screen romance. And I was misled. I was strung along. I was queer baited because ultimately Ross Butler's character is straight, and season 4 sees Alex get into a relationship
with Charlie St. Cloud or whatever his name is.
A character so inconspicuous. I think I've told you this before. I confused him for another character who I don't even know when this character was introduced, because truly in my mind, for all of season 3, I think that might have been its introductory season, but for all of season 3 when he was growing in prominence, I thought he was that other guy who was friends with the jocks but wasn't a rapist.
I can't even remember who that guy is.
There was this guy, like a white dude of slightly smaller build, who eventually in season 3 turns on Monty and had kind of already turned on Bryce, because he was like, yeah, I'm a jock and I'm popular and I was friends with these people, but I'm not okay with all the, literal criminal activity.
And that's not Charlie?
That's not Charlie. And the thing is, I thought that was him. Yes, I thought that was him. So when he suddenly became Alex's love interest, I was like, oh, okay. So
makes sense.
He's canonically bi now. And I was like, maybe that's why he wasn't, this awful person like the rest of them. Because, when you're queer, sometimes that can open your eyes a bit, to how harmful the patriarchy is.
It makes you inherently good.
Yeah. Well.
JK, obviously
only to find out that, no, I was fully mistaken. That character who's the good straight jock kind of just disappears and isn't in season 4. And Charlie is somebody else who was introduced in season 3 at least. And I don't know where he came from.
I know he's in season 3. I thought he was that guy though. Damn, I guess we're in the same boat. I have no idea who you're talking about.
So the idea that Alex didn't have this lovely friends to lovers thing with Zach, which would have made so much sense.
A main character, they have been bonded since season 2. We all want to see Ross Butler kiss a man. Go on.
Zach who was already one of the good jocks. Like, he was popular and big and kind and not a rapist.
Collectively agreed upon his name should not have been on those tapes. We all said that's crazy.
To then be put with Charlie, who would have been, in my mind, good jock number 3. Because it would have been Zach. It would have been this other guy that turned on them. And then it would have been Charlie, who came out of nowhere. Charlie, who's retconned in, honestly.
Because when Charlie stands up in like the flashbacks of season 4 in the first few episodes to speak at the funeral of the jock we're not sure who's dead, and he's like, I wasn't one of the most prominent ones, but I was always there. And it's like, and who are you? Why are you getting screen time and lines? Oh, a gay.
It was giving when Cyclops' youngest brother, Gabriel Summers, was introduced. It was like, did you know that Professor X actually gathered another team of heroes to go and rescue those trapped on Krakoa, but they all died, seemingly. So then he had to go find the international X-Men. I'm like, what? No? When did that happen?
Where was I? I also love every retcon that makes Professor X look even worse than he already was, because that guy sucks sometimes. And let the adaptation not forget that.
He is a powerful telepath, so I guess it makes, if you're gonna have retcons, the guy who can just wipe your mind whenever it suits his fancy, I'm like, fine, sure. And then he made you forget.
Makes sense. Here's what I'll say about queer baiting, because people always say getting queer baited by X is like losing a game of chess to a dog. But the thing about 13 Reasons Why is that there are many a gay to count from jump. Like 3 of the main cast in the first season to begin with are queer. So it's like not unthinkable.
I mean, arguably, are you counting Hannah?
Yes, it's then that makes it 4, because I was counting Alicia Bowe's character. So it's Constance. Is that her name?
Courtney Crimson.
What's
the Asian girly.
Courtney Crimson. It's Christian Navarro's character. I don't remember anyone's name. Tony?
Tony, yes. Tony Padilla. Padilla?
It's Padilla. Yes, it's the skinny twink. What's her name? She transitioned.
She transitioned. I've forgotten the character's name.
The character's name was something. I mean, it was some like generic name, but her. So that's 3. Oh, I guess not main cast, but there's that one guy that Tony went on a date with. He wasn't main cast, I don't think.
He was Tony's
just there for 2
boyfriend, and
episodes.
then he vanishes in season 2.
Which for the
Played
best.
by
Was it
our White Sunspot
number 2?
2.0, Henry Zaga
Jesus Christ.
of Teen Wolf fame.
And then if you, I forgot
been a lot
he's in
of
that
stuff we've
6th
watched.
season of Teen Wolf. If you add Hannah and what's Alicia Bowe's character? The main girlie, the it girl. Jessica, if you count the 2 of them. That
Is
would be
Jessica
6.
queer?
I think they kissed at a party one time, and I'm like, you know what? Throw her in there.
Oh, okay. I can't. I mean, I have not gone back to watch season 1. I'll be honest.
I haven't. It's just locked in. But at least 5 if you don't count her. And there are more introduced along the way, so it's not unthinkable. And here's what I'll say, is that Zach does not have a storyline in that final season. It would have given him something to do. He is just running around kind of drunk, plays piano every now and then shows up at the end when they bury those tapes.
He's just the muscle. And I guess breaks Bryce's legs and dislocates his arm. Softens him up so that Jessica and Alex can finish him off.
Truly, it's like he doesn't even get to be the guy who killed Bryce. It's like, give him something. Let him date Bryce's killer. I don't know.
If I can just be that friend who's too woke for a second. As a person who's been, absorbing queer media for the better part of a decade and a half or so, I would have liked to see a romance with, an Asian character and a white character, where the Asian one is the more traditionally masculine one, the himpo.
Fair.
The one who, the yaoi girlies are going to project all of their he's the boy in the relationship nonsense onto. And the white twink is the slighter, more relatively feminine one. It's a dynamic I've never seen before. And since we rarely get to see POCs in these things, it would have been refreshing. And then to end up with just 2 white boys again, I was like,
And it's
okay,
like,
wow.
your main ship has to be the 2 white boys because the one person of color who's also discovering they're queer is a rapist.
Yeah. And then he's dead.
He's a rapist and he's going to jail and now he's
And Tony,
dead.
I don't know even know what.
Tony's family's deported.
Tony's family's deported and his boyfriend has disappeared because didn't he have a black boyfriend later on? I don't know where he went.
He does have a black boyfriend. He is in the final season, but they appear less because he's so busy running his boxing gym. No, he's running a regular gym and he's following his boxing career because Tony's a few years older than the rest of the cast and it's getting ridiculous for him to be wrapped up in these antics and being like in high school. So they just give him a proper storyline and he starts
Well,
to
I
disappear.
mean, POC for POC queer
Love to
relationship.
see it.
It's nice. Unfortunately, it's not 2 main characters. It's
Exactly.
one main character and a supporting character.
Exactly. Here's what I'll tell you, never too many gays. And let me tell you, not too woke, just woke enough, in fact. And maybe not woke enough as we should be in this day and age. But let's loop back to Matt and Jeremy, which I think is what this was about. So... It's very like B-team energy, right? I've always said whenever they're building a B-team here for the show, and I don't care for it because I usually don't like the B-team. I didn't care for the freshmen in season 4 of Glee. I didn't care for the freshmen in season 4 of Teen Wolf, except for Mason, who was an icon. And this B-team's rough, man.
I liked both sets of freshmen. I am a fan of passing the torch if you're going to draw something out. And maybe a show like Teen Wolf would have benefited from allowing the torch to be passed. I don't know.
No, definitely. It's just nobody can ever sell me on them. They're always just like... I think it's the intent of recapturing the original god, right? It's the intent on always matching the energy of the previous crop. Because with the B-team in Teen Wolf, it's Liam, who's a baby Scott. It's Mason, who's a baby Styles. And it's What's-Her-Face, who's a baby Allison. I can't even remember her name.
Hayden?
Love that actress, though. Is her name Hayden? Okay, sure. Her, who's a baby Allison. It's like, okay, or they could be their own characters. I don't know. Like,
I was, as far as Glee is concerned, I was keen to have Marley, played by Melissa Benoist.
Loved Marley Rose.
I was keen to have a more palatable Rachel Berry who wasn't insufferable.
Oh, yeah, I guess she would be the Rachel Berry. Who was I thinking of her as? And then Blake Jenner, whatever his name is.
Because Kitty is the Quinn, or rather, Kitty is the love child of Quinn and Santana.
She was a bit fun, but she also coerced someone into an eating disorder. which
Yes,
is
she
so
coerced Marley
crazy
into an eating
to
disorder,
think
which is
about.
insane because the show kind of just leaves that and there's no comeuppance.
Yeah, I guess she gets kicked out by her own crew because she's too nice now after winning with the Glee Club. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, it's just the collective group energy trying to recapture the old glory is like, just make it new. I don't know. This is not important.
Because usually on television, when your throat is slashed, you're dead. I guess he and Allison Hargreaves are the only
right.
people to get their throats slashed and survive.
Fully survived.
Because when I watched season 1 of Umbrella Academy, I thought she was done.
I thought she was dead.
She was in the middle of reluctantly saying, I heard a rumor, number 7 slashes her throat with the white violin powers. And I was like, oh no, she's dead. And then the next episode, she's okay. And I was like, oh. Okay.
Okay. I don't know what kind of doctor y'all got working was stitched up real good. The monkey, I guess. Did they use monkey blood to heal her? Because they used the monkey blood on Luther when he got all burnt up.
No, I think they just gave her medical care really quickly. She spends the rest of season 1 being unable to speak and then goes into season 2 unable to speak when she's stranded in the civil rights era.
Civil rights era. Away from her family. God. You think about Allison Hargreaves for 2 seconds and just the fury rises up within me. And I have heard tale of subsequent seasons. And let me tell you, every single person in that writer's room, you will begin to feel a cough in 3 minutes. I'm not even giving you time to get your affairs in order. Because what the hell?
Matthew Honeycutt Maxwell Donovan.
Maxwell Donovan. Every time I think of Jace, Wayland, Herondale, Lightwood, Morgenstern. The original 5 surname bitch.
Wait, who's Herondale?
So, for the Mortal Instruments heads, Jace was Jace Herondale when you first meet him because as far as anyone knew and as far as he knew, his parents were the Herondales who died. So that was the first name you encounter. He is also called Jace Lightwood by some characters in the story because he is effectively adopted by the Lightwood family. Then Morgenstern, because by the end of book 1, you learn that he is supposedly actually Valentine Morgenstern's son, and he and Clary are siblings. They are both Valentine's children. So Jace Morgenstern. Then you learn that... you meet him as Jace Wayland.
Yeah, I was going to say, is Wayland not the first name?
I'm sorry. He thinks the Waylands are his parents. And then at the end of the book 3 or book 6, it was the ending of one of the trilogies, you learn that the Waylands were just noted as his parents, but his actual parents were the Herondales. Celine Herondale and whoever the dad was, Herondale. So, Jace, Wayland, Lightwood, Herondale, Morgenstern. What's the one I'm missing?
I think that's all of them. You said 4.
No, that's 4.
Were they 5 surnames or 4?
Yeah.
Wow, that is convoluted.
So. Maybe I was counting his name.
He walked so that Alexandra, Gilbert, La Bonheur,
Michelson, all of them.
Run.
Every single one.
A woman whose genealogy doesn't even make sense because she has 2 sets of biological parents.
Biological.
And then adopted
I don't
parents.
know what kind of gene pool they were mixing together, what kind of polycule as. And the thing is, that's what makes me mad, is that I know that's not what was happening. The writer just didn't care about the logic of it and was like, we need all the bloodlines in here. They're all biological parents. I was like, there's something you could do with this magically, but, whomst am I? Not a fan fiction writer. Nadia's like, I don't have time for this. Veet, which we very quickly learn, is the summoning incantation.
Product placement this season. Veet. There's a lot of Veet this season.
Are they still kicking? I don't see the adverts anymore.
I see them in the shops, I think.
Okay, well,
or unless good. I'm just imagining things. I might be seeing a similar product that has packaging that's suspiciously similar.
You know what I miss? Venus. I'm your Venus.
I still see Venus. Yes.
I'm your fire.
And I always think of you comparing the new Winx transformation song.
I'm sorry that it looks like a feminine shaving commercial. It just does. And it's a good thing I said that early on because what an interesting road.
What a reimagining.
That's the word.
Ultimate Comics Winx Club.
That truly is it. So they're in 2028.
Wow. Still beyond where we are now.
Yeah. And their envisioning of that 11 years ago was like, yeah, pretty much the same. They didn't know AI was going to sweep the world.
I respect modern writers never trying to predict the future too much, because people
Honestly,
used to do
safer.
that all through the 20th century, and they were
Yeah.
always wrong.
They were either so wrong by like outlandish guesses or so conservative in their estimates that it's like, y'all did not know what information technology could do these days. And some people nailed it.
I'm still waiting for the time travelers in Supergirl to be correct and be like, yeah, social media was just a fad from the early 21st century. It fizzled out eventually.
Wait, this is an Arrowverse Supergirl?
Yes, in Arrowverse Supergirl, I think when like Brainy and the other Legionnaires come from the 31st century, like someone mentioned something about social media, and someone else was like, "What?" And they're like, "No, it was a fad in the early 21st century. It eventually fizzled out." And I was like, "Oh, really?"
And you know,
I'm still waiting.
any year now, we're gonna hit that boom and that bust and the collapse, and we're gonna be just fine again. We're gonna all touch grass collectively.
Maybe.
Or we will devolve into fascistic nightmare. Who knows?
People have theorized that Gen Alphas might just find it cringe because their parents have recorded every moment of like their preschool lives and just stuck it on TikTok for everyone to see. So
I
maybe
would
they'll
hold
save us.
stock in that if they weren't currently like doing all the skibbities, as I've said, which is my only reference point for Gen Alpha is skibbity. And I'm still not super sure what that is. A friend explained it to me and I still don't get it. And that's probably for the best. I'm okay with that.
Spin-off episode ends. Email us at animalattackpod@gmail.com. Tweet us at animattackpod. That's at ANIM attackpod. Cheers.